speak here today. I'm Joshua Izaak. I'm a Democratic candidate for state representative for District 81. So we don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to try to give a brief introduction to myself and then maybe a policy or two that I'd like to fight for when elected. So I was born in Queens, New York, to Abe and Janet Izaak.
Yay!
Also my sister Lauren. We moved to Tucson, Arizona for a few years, and then before 4th grade, I moved down to the district to Boca Raton, and I've been here for most of my life. For those of you who know the area, I went to Water's Edge Elementary School, Loggers Run Middle School, Olympic Heights High School for a year, and then they built West Boca Raton High School, and then I went there and I graduated second in my class. Then I went to Emory University up in Atlanta, where I got a Bachelor's of Arts in Political Science and a Bachelor's of Business Administration from the Goizueta Business School. I'm currently in my last semester at law school at the University of Florida. During my time in college, I started getting involved in politics. I spent a summer working for Ted Deutsch when he was a state senator down here, and then another summer working for Robert Wexler up in Washington, D.C. And this past summer, I worked with Debbie Wasserman Schultz at the Democratic National Committee, and I worked in the Voter Protection Division. So basically, we were fighting against Republican legislatures, Republican governors who were trying to restrict access to the vote, like in Florida, where we have 7-hour lines on Election Day. So that's basically a little bit about myself.
Good job, Joshua.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So a few things I would like to fight for when elected. In terms of health care, I think the biggest thing that we need to do is to get the expansion of Medicaid under the Affordable Care Act. There are a million Floridians. There are a million Floridians. These are children, these are working families, these are seniors on fixed incomes who will not have access to affordable health care if we do not expand Medicaid. It also saves the state money. It saves about $300 million a year under the first 3 years. And then when we're at our highest liability under the expansion, we're still saving as a state $100 million a year. And this is money that we can reinvest into education, into infrastructure, into energy, into further healthcare efficiencies. In terms of education, I have been through every educational level in the state, and it is a disaster. We need to move away from these aptitude-based standardized tests. And we need to move towards a curriculum-based approach where teachers are not teaching to a test, but they're able to teach creatively, where students aren't just learning to a test, but are able to think critically about the information that they're learning in the classroom. We need to make sure that we continue to fight to increase teacher salaries, to decrease class sizes. We also need to make sure, no matter whether it's low-income communities or whether it's affluent communities, that every school and every student has all the resources that they need to be successful. So I think I'm pretty much running out of time. So everything, all my issues are on my website, joshuaizaak.com. I know flyers have gone around, and that's at the bottom, joshuaizaak.com. You can contact me anytime. All my contact information is on my website. You can also go to Facebook. I think it's Joshua Izaak Campaign. You can like my Facebook page. So thank you very much for having me.
And Joshua is running against incumbent Representative Kevin Rader. And Kevin called me personally last night to offer his apologies. We all forgot he's Sabbath observant, and because of religious obligation, he does not campaign during the daytime hours of Sabbath. The question is, last year the Palm Beach Post in an editorial wrote, when Kevin Rader was in Tallahassee, his blind spot was a willingness to deregulate property insurance rates. Would you comment?
Sure. I don't believe in that. I think when you deregulate property insurance rates, this allows big insurance to come in here and raise rates exponentially on consumers. I also know that in terms of another thing that my opponent did, he introduced a amendment to the condo bill, which would shift liability from the condo association to the individual condo owners, which would lead to increasing rates and increased out-of-pocket costs for seniors in fixed incomes. And since we represent an area that has Century Village in it, a lot of seniors in condos that would negatively affect them. So I would do that.
I am fortunately, I'm typically the district aide. I do a lot of work in the district, and I was not part of Representative Rader's staff at the time, so I do not have any information on that. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Not a problem.